Wait, I can't.
Hey guys.
Hey
Aloha.
y'all.
Aloha.
So it's about 8:30
Yeah, I'd say about 8:30.
p.m. and we have
10 past 8.
been back from the Road to Hana adventure for about an hour and a bit. So yeah, it's a very long day, 12 hours in total. Lots of windy roads, some weren't even really roads, some were like literally like you were going to fall off the cliff edge. A little bit scary. It was a good trip. It was good to see the whole island.
It was a good day, but it was just very long.
It was a long
and
day.
tiring.
I think kind of maybe sort of 8 hours would have been better, but anyway.
Yeah.
It was like tough.
It was, you can't help it, the island's that big and you
Yeah.
have to get around it, so it was good. So we basically had this situation today where we were last getting onto the bus, so we got the back row. When we've got on the bus, there is two, I say boys, what age would you have put them at? 18?
20 and 17.
20
Whoa.
and 17-year-old boys.
Actually, that's quite
And then a woman sitting the other side with a seat next to her, who's obviously their mum. When I've gone to sit down on the back row by the window, she has her seat reclined,
Fully
right back,
reclined.
fully reclined. We're on a day trip.
And we're at the back of the coach, so
We're at
we
the back.
can't put our seats back.
We can't put our seats back, so we've got nowhere to go. And basically, I wouldn't have even been able to look out the window properly to take a photo.
Yeah.
So I said, oh, is that seat broken or can it go forward? And she went, oh, sure, you know, you want me to put it forward? And I was like, yes, that's okay. Thought nothing of it. But then kind of looked over at her sons, who were also reclined, and thought, bit weird. No one else on the bus was reclined.
Also, like, can I just quickly mention this now? Like, at some points throughout the journey, their seats would be reclined. They wouldn't even be laying on them.
No.
And Mum was like, they're going to get a sore neck.
They were actually
they were
sitting
literally
up,
sitting up.
but with
on
their
a-
seat reclined.
It
So
just
their
didn't
seat was
make
like that and they were
sense.
almost sitting like that. It was just pointless. So within a little while of the journey, the girls were told to shush by one of the boys. So I kind of looked at him and was like,
He literally, basically, I was telling Gracie that a ladybird had landed on me, and he went, shh. I was like,
yeah, it was
Seriously?
just, we weren't
And
on
can
a
I
school
just
trip.
point out, his brother had a towel over his head trying to sleep, and
Yeah.
he was playing a game on his phone.
He's not
so
exactly
why
there,
not
like,
they
trying to
wouldn't
listen to the
listening to the
tourist
tour
stuff.
guide. So we get off for our first stop and we come back on the coach, and the mum is now sitting on the other side and the two brothers are sitting outside, and so one of the brothers has actually got his seat reclined again. So I said, excuse me, can you put your seat up? He was like,
He went all stroppy.
well, really? What, there's no room? I went, no, there is literally no room.
No,
and-
you were like, it's a bit tight, isn't it?
Yeah. And he just kind of started muttering under his breath, serious?
For
What?
ages.
Seriously? No room? Are you serious? All that
He
sort of
was
thing.
like some people,
I
apparently.
just kind of left it, but thought unnecessary. You know, no one else on this coach had their seat reclined.
Yeah.
We weren't sleeping, we weren't going through the night,
No.
you know. And then it basically continued. Every time we got off the coach, he did it again. So
Even after Mum had told both the mum and the son, please may you not do that.
So like, I think he did it a further 2 more times.
Yeah.
And it was basically starting to affect how much I was enjoying the journey, because I just felt really tense and just worried,
Intimidated.
really intimidated by it. I mean, he was only a young lad, but it was just like, you know, God, we were on a 12-hour trip.
And he
And we
was,
had to be with,
like-
around them people. It was just awkwardness as well.
and he was like muttering under his breath. And,
Yeah, and just genuinely, he turned to his mum at one point, who'd now
Oh,
sit on the other
Oh,
side,
yeah.
where Gracie
I
was.
moved over by the window because I wanted to see outside, because we had the back row. I was in the middle and I wanted to see like out the window, so I moved to that seat over by the window, and the ladies put her seat back
Yeah.
a little bit, and and it didn't bother me that much because it was literally like a tiny bit. And then the boy went over to, what did he say?
Shirley went, "You got your seat all the way back there, Mum?" And she went, "Yeah, I think so."
She was like, "I'm pretty sure
She was
I
like,
do."
almost.
And then he was like, "Good, good."
And I was sitting there and I was like, wow.
Also, another thing, I don't think you two heard this, which is why, like, I was, like, pulling faces up with you, be confuse you guys a little bit. Basically, the man that we met on the shuttle bus, he was like, "Oh, do you mind if I put my seat back, guys?" He didn't end up doing it, so I don't know why he asked. But anyways, he was like, "Do you mind?" And then the boy made a point of going, "Nope, plenty of room here," and stuff like that. Really, like, "Nope, we got plenty of room back here, don't you worry."
An idiot.
Like, making a point. I was like,
Yeah.
anyways, you carry on.
So basically, by this point, I was starting to get really anxious. So I said to, we get to the next stop, the girls get off, and I go to the bus driver, and he says, "Is everything okay?" And I said, "No, actually, it's not. Can we get a different bus?" He said, "There is no buses. What's the problem?" And I just said that there's two boys in front of us. One of the boys is on about reclining the seat. It's just too tight, and he's really intimidating me. And as I've done this, I've looked round, and the guy is actually in my seat with his reclined, testing the room situation. So so the bus driver sort of said to me, you know, "What, do you want me to have a word?" And I just said, "Yeah." Because at this point I was seriously thinking, whatever it costs, I'm just going to get a taxi back to the hotel because I cannot do this. It was like 2 hours in, and it really upset me. I got quite upset. It's the first time I've actually cried this whole holiday, considering this has been a real trip of trying something new.
But it's also, it seems like out of all the things we've done, like, that, to cry over that was quite, like, whoa for Mum, but it was actually quite a big deal at the time.
Yeah, and I think I
looking
just
back
sort
at
of
it
thought,
as
A, if I'd had a man with me, he wouldn't have done that. Or B, if I was a man, he wouldn't have done that. He would not have continued to keep on at me like he did. And, I hope his mum's proud of the way she was raising those boys. She was away with the fairy. But, I don't know.
I
First
just
time.
think they're just pure rudeness, like,
Just
I don't know,
ruin it.
I just don't know how
didn't
to-
ruin the trip completely.
At the
but
beginning.
I put a bit of a downer on it,
it
bad
did put
start,
a downer
100%.
on it, and really don't think it was being unreasonable. We wouldn't have even, like, Gracie, when that lady when the mum put her seat all the way down, you
It's like
couldn't
there.
really
It
take a
was
picture.
literally here,
No, I
guys.
couldn't.
You couldn't look
I'm not
up. You
joking.
couldn't take a picture through the window when her seat was reclined. So,
She fell asleep.
But also, Gracie's a child. Gracie's smaller than you as well.
yeah.
Which is another point, like,
So they just weren't very nice.
we just wanted to mention that in here because it's obviously quite a big part of the trip, isn't it?
I think so. I think it just reminds you that all the time you're trying to be like strong, independent women, there is still people out there that aren't treating you fairly, and I don't think I was treated fairly, because I really don't think if I'd been a man he would have spoken to me like that.
Or with a man, because
Yeah.
the man would have had something to say, wouldn't
Yeah.
they?
So it was a bit of a shame really, but anyway,
we
the
got
bus
through
driver definitely must have said something, because
Yeah,
it
he
stopped after
stopped.
that. I think he tried one more time while I got off the bus.
Yeah.
He just reclined it for those 5 minutes that I was off the bus.
Yeah.
He's such an idiot.
He just wasn't a very nice young man.
I wouldn't even call him a man, but because
But anyway,
the road to
Other than
Hana, can I just say, I recommend for anyone watching that so they can do it, but don't do it yourself.
Yeah.
well,
I mean,
anyway,
them
if you're
roads
brave to
are
do it
ridiculous.
yourself,
The road.
the roads are crazy. You're
I'd be
literally
scared
on the
for anyone
cliff's
doing
edge.
it.
But if you could do it yourself, you'd see more, because
You
you're
think?
obviously limited. Yeah, I think so, because there was like Red Sand Beach we didn't get to see.
Yeah,
There was
true.
waterfalls we could have probably got to and swam in. We were a bit more restricted going
With
with
time
in a
as well.
tour.
You could have
route.
spent longer
Yeah.
at the beach.
Can we also just talk about Black Sand Beach? the waves.
Oh
We're
my.
recording for 10 minutes.
Black Sand Beach was
Mad.
mad. It was crazy. I'm still reeling from the fact that I forgot the swim shoes.
Oh yeah.
Because
Where are they?
they're just down here.
Down there, I put them in a caravan.
Basically, at one point, Rosie and I were watching Gracie with the towels wrapped round us, sitting on the beach, happily minding our own business. We were
So
sitting there, and
massive.
literally a wave has come up all the way up the beach. I just saw the water coming. I just sat there. I couldn't move. I went, it's coming.
I was contemplating moving. I was like, I'm not gonna make it. I might as well just stay here with Mum.
So we literally, our towels were soaked. I've had to put them into laundry tonight. I've actually had
With one towel for all three of us to
one
dry
towel
off
for all
with.
three of us to shower
It was
down
my
and dry
towel,
off
by the
with.
way.
And,
Yeah,
and
it's
who'd have
Gracie.
thought it would have been Gracie that had
Yeah.
the dry towel? It was just crazy. But
For once.
and actually, Gracie, you got knocked out by that wave. Oh, and also,
No, I didn't really.
I'm standing there talking to the girls, saying, "Oh, you know, I think Rosie's going back up. Gracie, come here," kind of thing.
What are you
They went,
Oh.
"Mum, behind you!" Massive wave knocks me out.
That was
plants
honestly
me.
the funniest thing. If you'd have seen it from our point of view,
Because her
It
wave,
smacked my back.
we saw it coming over her, and it was just the biggest wave. One was facing like her back to the wave. You heard the slap of the back, and it was like something out of a movie.
I
just came
literally-
over and behind
It
her.
must have looked like Amy Schumer or something. It was like I literally face
Literally.
planted the black sand. Yeah. So
Did you feel like you had been pushed from behind?
what before it happened?
Like, it looked really powerful. Like,
It was really powerful. It sent me onto my like that on the sand. Thinking, oh my god, all these people can see me.
When it
Also-
happens, you're like, I wonder who's watching me right now, and then you just kind of don't care because you're just in the wave.
I like
Trying to survive.
like when the sea comes in and then out again. I got caught in that like once or twice, but like I was fine with it. But when you have to get further out for it to be okay, if you know what I
Yeah,
mean. 'Cause
you do. You
when it
have to
comes
kind
in
of-
and out, you would get pushed over,
Yeah.
like you couldn't stand
Like
up,
me.
Rosie.
like Rosie. And then, but if you're further out, you're like actually in the wave, and it's really really
You
fun.
jump in it.
And you jump in it.
No, but it's just getting
But
to that
if
bit.
there's like a really big one, which when me and Mum went in, there was,
Mhm.
that's when we like got out because we got washed out by it. Mum
Did
went
you?
under, I went
Yeah.
under.
I nearly lost my sunglasses again.
Oh yeah, I honestly don't know how you kept them.
Yeah, I was gonna say, firstly, why did you wear them? Secondly, the thing I don't like is like, when I go under one of them waves, I feel like I'm never gonna come up.
Mm.
Yeah,
But
it's
I
weird.
went in it quite
It's
a lot,
weird.
and I
Right,
found
feel
it.
my nose as well.
I found it really fun, didn't I?
You really enjoyed it.
I didn't
but
like the
I
rocks.
found it.
It was
I
pebbly black. So it was like black sand and then it went into pebbles.
I actually found it. Yeah, I mean, I know I let you back in, Gracie, but I said to Rosie, didn't I? What did I say to you, Rose?
So I've gone with her.
No, I said that, but also, what did I say? I said, be ready.
Oh, be ready to take my phone because no, you were like, first sign of danger with her, take my phone and I'm running in.
And then Rosie said, well, I'll run in. I went, but you don't even like it. She
You
went,
like-
I'd do it for Gracie.
She was like, would you? I was like, yeah.
But it's all right. I'm not asking you to. I'll do it. But you just got to hold my phone because I didn't want to smash
But then
it.
but then we got swept away.
And then we got swept away anyway. And we didn't have a clue where Gracie was.
Basically, me and Mum were standing there having a chat for like I don't even know what we were chatting about. She went, wait, I haven't been looking at Gracie for a while. Where's she gone?
I
We were
know.
just standing there chatting.
No.
So
The
funny.
sea is a danger.
Where?
On the shuttle bus,
Mm.
when you were like to the little boy,
Oh,
have you looked in your pants since you got out?
No, so basically, after being in the Black Sea, it was all like pebbly, shingle kind of thing. So like, as soon as like, well, when we went to the showers, I like tipped my bikini and all these stones fell out. And obviously, the same happened when we went to the toilet and our bottoms. So I kind of, we spoke to this really nice family. So I kind of said to the little boy, "Oh, have you pulled your shorts down since you've been on the beach?" And it just sounded so wrong.
It sounded like, I don't think you meant for it to come out like that, but it sounded so weird. And then like his dad kind of answered for him. So the boy didn't even end up talking.
Dad was just like, the boy was just like, who is this?
By the way, guys,
Literally.
nicest family.
Oh,
If you're
so, yeah.
watching,
I don't know if they will be.
You
Because
could
we
always
haven't told
DM
them
them.
yet about it.
Ted
But,
and
like,
Tessa.
Is that it?
I think it was.
Oh, Tess. Ted and Tess.
If you're watching,
honestly,
hi.
I just when I
San
meet
Diego.
people like that, I just think what I'm so glad.
Like, you don't need
you
to
meet
be
people like the
happy.
people we met today that were in front of us on the bus, and you're like, why'd you have to be so rude? You meet people that are so lovely, and you're like, thank you for just being so lovely.
Yeah.
Like, they don't
I'm
need
just
to
so
be
glad
lovely
there's
to
people.
us.
Exactly.
I know, I'm actually so gutted we weren't sitting with them on the bus.
Yeah.
You know? Because, yeah.
Just
well.
makes you appreciate the good people in the world. That's all I'm saying.
I think we're all a bit cringed.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was a long old clip.
But
So, I think we're going to do this as an add-on. I don't think we do this as a part of our day.
oh, do you think? Oh, that's
Yeah, I
so
think we
separate
do
video.
a
Like story time.
thoughts of.
Thoughts of
do you
today.
think?
Thoughts of Hannah.
Let's just give it a try and see what people think.
Yeah,
and see what
hopefully you
sort of
guys
reaction we
like
get.
this chat.
Because it's probably a little bit boring, but
I mean, it depends.
it's
who
important
watches
issues,
it.
though.
Yeah.
People, we've got.
Whoever's watching this, our
Feminism.
family, our friends, new viewers, Mouse TV, Daniela Mitchell, we love you.
And you know, and it is important to talk about
100%.
it. You know,
Of course.
we are 3 independent women out here doing our thing.
So
We don't want our knees crushed by someone's.
Then we're not going to get our
We're
knees
not gonna get our
crushed.
knees crushed.
Well, we
Hell
did
yes.
in that Black Sea.
Well, we get in the Black Sea.
Yeah, the sea always defeats our knees. No, it actually also takes you out.
Alrighty then. Shall we say goodbye?
Yeah.
Say goodbye.
Bye bye.